good. Like,
I'm sexy.
You know, titties out. It's always a good day when they get to see the sun.
I am in tears. You said.
You know?
Yeah.
And they sitting up real nice.
Love
that. Rihanna be having me together.
Oh, you got Fenty on?
Always. She's touching my body at any given moment. Hi.
That was so gay.
Yes. Yeah. Because I can't help it. I actually can't help it. Actually, the more queer people in my life, the gayer I get.
Same. Like, as it happens, I'm like, oh.
Damn.
I'm a faggot.
Whole time. I've been here this whole time.
I love that.
I'm like, wow.
Great.
Like, man, but I should have known. And I did mention it before. I thought everybody thought that Gia was fine in Rip Girls on Disney Channel. I thought she was cute.
I don't know who Gia is.
She was surfing and she was running around.
Rip what?
Rip Girls.
Let's find one that both of us can relate to.
Let's find someone that both of us can relate to.
Do you know who Renee Rapp is?
I do.
Okay, let's go Mean Girls present day.
That's crazy. I haven't seen the Mean Girls because I'm a purist. I know who Renee Rapp is.
That's who we're focused
She's
on.
very pretty.
Yeah.
And she's like...
Sometimes. She's white.
So. Lay you down, babe. But also, yes. But I like the dark femme energy that women are getting into. Yeah, because it's just I'm tired of the prissy and we're supposed to fit in this box. And queerness is just not a box. You get to play. Yeah. I think that's what it is. You just get to play. You get to play dress up. You get to scream. You get to sing if you want to. You get to just exist.
I feel like a lot of the reason why I prefer the word queer over gay or pansexual or bisexual or any of this otherness is because, like what you said, I get to play with who I am on any given day. One of my favorite scenes of media growing up was that Everybody Hates Chris scene with when Chris had just been introduced to an androgynous person for the first time. And he was so confused because he didn't know if this was a guy or a girl. The guy in the episode, they, them, because that's the pronouns that we use now. But the person in the episode was gorgeous, but cunt and camp. And it was Chris is like, babe,
I don't know what to do here. I just like it.
And I feel like I'm recalling this correctly, but I feel like the guy was like, well, I'm a guy, but I like to dress in girl clothes sometimes. And that's just who I am. And as I've gotten older, recognizing that, how much of an impact that has had on me, I'd be like, yeah, because why would I not allow myself to explore all of who I am? Exactly,
because if I were to just stop, the idea of straightness is just to stop evolving, just with men it's even more so men are not allowed to they're not allowed to cry, not allowed to laugh, not allowed to exist in a way that does not fit in this box. And no one can fit in that box. I've never seen a single man hit all of the pillars of patriarchy and be okay. It's
because it's a soul breaking, you literally cannot be yourself in order to fit into straight male heteronormativity.
Yes.
So it's going to crush your spirit. You in order to hit all those pillars, you're going to have to lose vital parts of who you are.
And I'm Black and I deserve to be free. Let's talk about that, because why would I chain myself to something else?
Yeah.
And y'all being anti-gay, anti-queer is being anti-Black, because you get to experience yourself at its fullness. And being upset that someone else is doing that is kind of wild.
It is, but it boils down to a couple of different things. I feel like the conversation that doesn't get had nearly enough and is starting to happen more and more is that straight men be trying to impress other straight men
exclusively.
They are very much sexually attracted to women, and romantically and like emotionally and spiritually attracted to men.
And before your cognitive dissonance,
get into it, Jasmine.
before your cognitive dissonance triggers you,
and you can't
out of your critical thinking. Tell me about your favorite sports person and tell me how much you love all of these teams and know what they're doing. If I'm watching sports, I'm watching it because their pants are extremely tight. That's really
I should start watching sports for that.
Oh my God, have you seen baseball? I would never.
Well, I used to play baseball, so once I stopped playing baseball, I was like, fuck this shit. It's great as a game, and fuck this shit.
Yeah, anyway, it really does give. I went to go see the game. I was like, why didn't nobody tell me that these men's booties was looking like this? It don't make no sense. And see, that's what I'm thinking. And I know if you watching sports, you can see. You're not going to ignore. Hut, hike. Your hand is... It's crazy, ain't it?
Yes, it was.
Because that's what you're focused on. And so y'all are fantasizing about these men and what they're doing and how they're doing it. And even those men, shoot, everybody is talking about what they're doing in the boxes that they have to uphold. Why are you focused on that? Why don't you just do what you want to do? My cousin-in-law, like, all of the things about him, it was something interesting that he said in his alpha male book read himself, was like, I wish there was another gender I could be. And he was like, I wish there was something else I could be besides a man, that I could still be a man. And I was like, babe, you could. Like, you live this life, however you want to play it, whatever God you want to pray to, whatever philosophy you believe in, you live this life one time. You have to do it for yourself.
Yeah. And I think the trap of heteronormativity is, and especially in collectivist cultures like Black and other brown cultures, is that the focus is so heavy on community and what the community wants all the time, where I understand through socialization, like the aspect of us becoming more individualistic as a society is creeping upon us. And there's still like a bunch of people that's like, no, you can care about yourself, your needs, and how you operate first, and still care for community. Like, those two things don't have to be mutually exclusive. And they often, if you do it right, aren't.
They are not.
In you focusing on yourself and healing and growing and like being you for you, you're able to do that for other people, like give them that space and that safety. But then also outside of that space and that safety, you get to like show up authentically. There then gets to be joy behind that. That then gets to be like you relaxed into.
You get to relax. You get to breathe. Like,
queerness right now is not fun. Like, we don't get that relaxation and that ability to breathe on the day-to-day because we still have so many fights against us.
So many fights that you have to go into the world. When we create our safe space, I mean, we're in a fruits mansion, for goodness sake. Like, there are safe spaces that exist for us to be as big as we are. But when we go outside, we have to deal with
the homophobia.
All of the, like, homophobia, like, truthfully, what are you afraid of?
It's not a fear, actually. I think it's the avoidance and like repulsion of queerness in homosexuality, because there's a lack of understanding. And outside of that lack of understanding, because that's one point, there are people who very much understand it and then are like, yeah, I don't like these people because they're happy and they shouldn't be. And it's like, you could be happy.
Or they're like, they're happy and I want to be doing what they're doing and be happy, because the DL community be out here doing what we doing and be putting on a costume later on. Hate that for them. Hate that for us.
Yeah, I like it. I am so gagged that you mentioned DL men, because there is a couple of DL men that I've like experienced throughout my life. And I've always asked the question, why be DL? Why like have a wife and kids and be cheating?
Because that's exhausting.
That question was even more like pertinent with a DL cum dump. Yeah.
That's a big word for Elmo. Explain to me. Explain to me what a cum dump is. And what
I'm
they
trying to hold it together.
what they be doing? What happened? Education is elevation.
It is, and I really don't want to be the one educated. I just don't. Stay stupid. Actually, that's not the one for me.
Then,
but I feel like, to be honest, a cum dump is just a man who enjoys having sex with a bunch of men and taking loads or nuts or whatever.
And then you go home.
Yeah.
And then kiss your spouse.
Mm-hmm. With a bunch of other
And I was like, that poor lady just wondered, what is that smell? What is that?
And what's so crazy is there is a smell. Women have said frequently online, there is a smell.
It is.
And I hate that.
So ladies, just letting y'all know, if you you're right. You're right. And you know it.
I am consistently that dog meme because why? I don't have to be gagged so severely.
Consistently? It's just, I'm funny and I'm cute.
You say, I have to do it.
I have to do
Ridiculous.
it. But the thing is there's so much harm that's caused in that.
Yeah.
That you're doing all of this. It's not just like everyone is thinking like the harm to the relationship, to the kids, to the house, all of that, but just the act of self-harm that's experienced in separating yourself.
That is so interesting. Because the last cum dump I talked to, that wasn't his experience. First of all, I didn't learn he was a cum dump until afterward. Yeah, it was great. I was first though. not first in his history, but first
in the love. You were 1 out of 27.
That part, actually. But it was a conversation of him feeling like he was able to be his most authentic self when just allowing himself to, pleasure a bunch of men back to back to back. That's what helped him feel useful and like important and responsible in the world. Whereas like him having a wife and kids didn't necessarily do that for him. And it's because he still has to wear this heteronormative hat once he's not fucking around all these men.
Child, but that's
also,
the
that
sexualization
was the craziest experience I've ever had in my life.
That's the craziest experience.
Actually, it's not. We're not going to talk about that yet.
Like, you forget that I know you. The craziest experience is crazy. But it's the sexualization of queerness that keeps him in that box. I love that you feel power. Take all the loads, actually. But also, dead into the camera, take all the loads you want to. However, don't. But like, do what you want to do. But there is power in the community of queerness as well as the sexual practices of queerness. And if you can only access that when you are bending or doing the bending.
No, he was bending. Yeah, that's cum dump. The cum's in him.
I was being inclusive.
No, fuck the inclusivity. The cum dump. We're talking about him.
We're talking about one person. We're talking about one person and what they were doing. But it's just like, okay, so you probably don't have any queer people in their life that they could call on, they could talk to.
Yes. I know exactly where you're going with that. And I feel like that is a huge problem. And the issue that I will have with like having conversations with men like that specifically are like, you have all these queer men in your life, but you only want them to have sex with you. You don't want to develop any type of emotional connections.
You
want
to talk to them, see what they got going on.
You don't want them
favorite
to.
Food?
It's less about having to necessarily build community, but being able to express yourself safely in that space.
Yeah.
Whereas you only are using it for the sexual outlet, and it's like you still go back home, perform heteronormativity, and then you struggle for like months on end until you can be a cum dump again.
And that's ridiculous. It looks like
Awful.
we're getting a kitty.
Love that.
Everyone said hi to me, so she just walked in, and she owns the house, so we let her do whatever she wants.
That part.
If she want to hop on this table, I would love that.
A cunt bitch. She's a cunt bitch.
Because the cuntiest thing on the planet is a cat. Let's be for real.
Pussy. Cunt.
Pussy. Oh my god. The word pussy is okay. What's your favorite word for a vagina? What's your favorite word? It's pussy. It's cunt for me. Like I like the word cunt. I'm not gonna refer to her as cunt, but cunt is my favorite word that refers to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's become that for me for a couple of different reasons, but not in terms of like calling the vagina that though. Mm-hmm. Especially because if I'm near a vagina, I'm usually fucking it, so I'm gonna say pussy. That's the word.
Pussy feels weird coming out your mouth, like at coochie or there or she. I think I've referred to her as she. Like she gets her pronouns together. I don't understand why we need a breath.
I did.
With my personal identity.
Yeah, and I love that for you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because
you see, I accepted your queerness though.
You did.
Yeah. I took a breath and accepted your queerness.
You just let me be gay. Because you don't be letting me be gay.
I just call you a whore all the time.
Actually, nobody lets me be gay because
actually get into it.
Let's get into it. Because I refuse to say bisexual to anybody because everybody acts like that's the boogeyman. That's also why I tend to say queer, because really what it comes down to is that men are like, we want to have sex. We want to have sex with you and another girl. I was like, no, the bisexual that I am is I want two guys. I want them to kiss. And I want them to teach each other what they're going to do to me. Like I wanted a collaborative effort, and then I want a little bit of competition.
There's not enough men around for that. I'm sorry.
That's unfortunate. I'm gonna find them and I'm gonna build them.
Period.
Just do what?
I love that.
I will have my reverse hammer.
I got you. I can help. I will definitely start putting out applications for you. I got you.
Yeah, but they gotta look good. Like real good.
What type of real
because
good?
I have like done my community service.
You said there was ugly niggas abound.
I have done my community service. God bless everyone. But little Timmy, we leaving them over there, and now we need everything. Actually,
love that
everything on the table because. I was talking about pussy and like talking about like the different words.
Of course, you would circle back
because I'm a circle back, baby. I'm a circle back.
Like the pussy.
Like the pussy.
Yeah.
Get into it. Actually,
yeah.
Masturbation is crazy. That's not what we get into currently.
Yeah.
Later, I got you.
Yeah.
But the competition in being queer, because like the world receiving us and all of that stuff, but like internally, because I know you talked about like the competition of not just for partnership but just to exist in a space.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I feel like I've seen it in a few different ways. That primary one is for partnership though. I've seen people fight down for some nigga that just fucked them good, high key. And it's like, how much do you actually want that man? Like, at the end of the day, like, I understand you are fighting right now and that you feel a type of way because he also fucked maybe your best friend or maybe your cousin or whatever.
Into it.
But like, fuck him. Move on.
Because it was just some dick.
It was just some dick.
But
like the way that then turns into, oh, I dress better, so I have to buy these fucking expensive ass clothes and shoes.
I have to be the best gay.
And it's like,
moment. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. And how much is that like feeling you, like actually feeling who you are, right? Well, damn, that was not.
You weren't ready to circle back to the come down.
No, I wasn't. That was not what I was doing. But I feel like the other part to the competition has everything to do with they're feeling like there's a lack within queerness. Like there's only so much room that straight people are going to allow us to like be successful and be ourselves before they're like, you're too queer.
You got to stop.
And so it turns into this competition between each other where we're like, okay, only I can be queer in this space. You can't.
Yeah.
Or this is the way that we be queer in this space. That's wrong. And now it's like this competition of what queerness is, right? If you can be queer, or if you have to say that you're gay, if you have to say that you're bi, if you have to say that you're like, why now am I
now why do we take off the boxes to go find some new ones? And I have such an issue with that because I didn't like the word bisexual because I was like, I be gay on Tuesdays, and that's really where I be at. The breathing. I've been saying that since I was like 14. And I was like, I'm only gay on Tuesdays.
How long ago was that?
It was like 2 weeks ago. Mind you. Chill out.
I couldn't breathe for a second. Did you see how the lie killed me? It tried to take me
the
out.
lie how you said you were straight? That lie?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is in the past.
That is in the past.
It's so far in the past.
It actually is giving present.
Like your 14th birthday. See how I set that up?
You know what? I had a point and you decided to bother me. And we all know that I done been through a pandemic. Yeah. I'm neurospicy. And now I lost my point because you was out here playing about me being old.
Oh, I hate that.
It's ridiculous.
I hate it for you.
That's why you gay.
Yeah. Queer.
Period. We ain't shit. But dead ass, like I didn't like the bisexual moniker because it was just like I had to like women and men equally. And it's not really what my experience is because really what it is I like men who balance femininity and women who balance masculinity. And that's really what it is. Because like Meg Thee Stallion could tell me to do anything on this planet and I would do it.
Oh, like Jill Scott said?
Yes. If you could tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't.
I can't wait for a new album.
Oh, yeah. Girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. Hold on. Yeah. Depending on when this episode come out, we might have already heard it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, I was about to say my titties was ready, and that'll really be what it is.
Love that for you. I do.
No, I to sidestep. I love that she said that she took a dildo out to let men know what it was.
I got the biggest dick in the
put it on the table because that's what you gotta do because men want to play with you, play with you all day.
Dude. In a way that's like, again, forward facing toward another man.
Just to be with another man.
I put this B in check. Oh, okay.
You did? Did you really? Like it's
the whole time you in the doghouse and can't come home.
The doghouse is crazy because a dog is always gonna be a dog. Stop playing. But it's like,
and that's why we don't have dogs.
Listen,
the pussy runs.
Do you want to tell the people that you refuse to let me get a dog? I can get my giant house in my villa, and I can have my brownstone in the city, but I can't have a dog. And the reason I give you that space is because I do believe in community and the queerness of it all. I'm here for it, but the inclusivity of having a dog and a cat.
No.
That's where I do stand in the bisexual space. I want both. Now what? I want the masculine energy and I want the feminine energy.
Which is so valid. And I think in being queer and experiencing queerness, like you get allowed to practice that, but only in certain queer spaces.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's a huge difference between black queer spaces,
queer and white queer spaces,
and then other POC queer spaces. Whereas, and the distinction between the three and it not just be like two, is that in black queer spaces, as a black queer person, like there can be a sense of home there, where like everyone has identified with some version of your story through their own personal lived experience. The racism on top of the being queer on top of the X, Y, and Z, like they can understand.
It's no explanation needed.
Right. Like a seamless kind of transition into this community space, but it also is so heavily filled with people learning and sharing that knowledge and teaching and like being in love, like in a this is what the practice of love looks like, not oh, I'm romantically interested in everybody that's around me type of thing. I feel like a lot of Black queer spaces center on a lot of mutual aid and a lot of mutual aid that reaches other queer spaces. I feel like white queer spaces
are damaging.
And not even just for Black and POC queer people, but also white queer people.
Because they're caricatures. Like it functions on this idea of what being queer is. And there isn't any room for any agency or any license to exist.
White queer spaces are all about the commodification and like introducing capitalism into queerness so that they can also rise the ranks in society.
Because like the difference between going to the different Chicago prides, there's the parade where there are condoms thrown. There are people who wear no clothes. It is
one of those people.
You was naked outside. There are billboards and billboards and billboards all throughout that parade. It's not about anything community versus going to Southside Pride, where we're showcasing queer art, we're showcasing like businesses, how we can help. There's so many mutual aid options. They're Black owned businesses, small businesses. There's a community, a home where you're at. And
the fact that it's Black Chicago Southside Pride is housed in our Black museum. Like being in DuSable.
It was so
which
beautiful.
Is also this like really straight space, low key, if we're being honest, like the museum aspect of it all.
It's very,
and then like for it to still be queer in this museum. They ate that.
And that's like growing up in Catholic spaces, in mostly white spaces.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's not.
But see, the thing about it is, it's being in community with you. One, it feels like we've been in community forever. It feels like this is for a long time, and it's going to stay for a long time. It's considering, how old you actually are. It's that.
This is why I don't let you rest. I give you a little break. You playing games, whatever.
Wait. It's that, and it's specifically with you, it's showing me how love actually functions in a community space. That being able to rely on somebody when that is not acceptable in white queer spaces, like reliance on someone, it's a rarity. I have found some people that have given me that space, but as a consistent thing, like it's not just you showing up, it's Lenny showing up, it's Gio showing up, it's all of these Black queer folks that are building something. And I think that's beautiful, and it's changed how I function just dealing with a whole lot of people.
I feel like the other aspect of like the 3 different queernesses or queer spaces, I'd say in other POC queer spaces, there's a tendency toward towing the line of acceptability to get, or acceptability, but like specifically respectability politics to be as closely aligned to white queer spaces as possible, in order for them to benefit from whatever the white dollars are like doing. Like a lot of the Hispanic queer spaces in Chicago are in Boys Town. And I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. Like don't get me wrong, there are queer spaces within Logan and Humboldt, like down. And all the queer, specifically all the gay Hispanic men are always in Boys Town. For why? Like, y'all don't want your own space? And I get there being this proximity to whiteness in white queer spaces within Chicago that helps money get funneled into certain businesses and people show up and stars being like, oh, this is also in the neighborhood where all these other things. I get it. And what was the cost of selling out for that?
Ooh.
How often are you in community directly and giving back to your direct community? Is the money really just staying up north?
Is it really just about poppers and booty and getting money? Because we could talk about that, because that ain't shit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
because we into the competition of it all.
That gets into the competition of it all. It's being queer is such a, in my opinion, is such a sacred space, and we need to get back to the fact that loving on each other, being in community with each other, and doing whatever the fuck we want is really what we're here for.
Yeah.
With consent, because
that part
with consent, because I would like informed consent, because also them DL men to be walking around and don't be telling people what they be doing is destroying the queer community. Stop playing.
That. They really love that. I feel like the big part of queerness in community, specifically in Black community, needs to be like this conversation about how so many of the elders that people talk about frequently, like long after they're gone, were they're queer elders.
They were queer, like, oh no, they were just roommates. No, them old ladies lived together and they was bumping purses. And they was bumping purses. It was having a great time, actually.
It was.
Baking and fucking all day.
It reminds me of like Nika Giovanni and her like development into her queerness. Like, and we're gonna be talking about her for forever. Because her impact on the Black community, but then America, like thought, literature, like all of that still exists. And how dare we ignore this important facet of who she is, because we want to cover up and clean up who she was. No, she was human. Let her be that also as she's passed on.
Because it's not something to hide.
It's not.
Queerness is such a beautiful aspect of who people are, and it creates this openness in people that you just are gravitating toward.
Yeah.
It's the separation of, like, in the Black community, you can be gay. You can surely be gay. You just have to be gay over there.
In that closet.
In that closet. You can direct our choir. You can make us look cute. You can do our makeup. You can even keep with us when we're drunk and we might want to kiss you in the face, but go away after that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
At every turn, actually.
At every turn. It's like the closet, we're not in the closet. Y'all have to put us somewhere.
Yeah.
And then trying to break our way out of what you need us to be in order for you to be okay.
It's always it feels like a trap, but like intraracially, like inside of our race. That queerness is so often demonized because, the Bible said. I know so many of y'all have heard that the Bible don't actually say that, and y'all still saying that.
I'm still saying it, but the issue is it's far deeper than what it actually is, and no one talks about it because I don't know about y'all, but my mama kept me with a Black history book. I knew everybody's business.
Love that.
But
needed.
It's like y'all history, truthfully, is just gossip. That's exactly what it is. It's gossip with dates and facts. It's tea for real. And you really need to understand that part of breaking us down in order to make us subservient from kings to slaves, there had to be a breakage in the spirit,
Yeah.
the way they did that, the buck breaking of it all, the changing, and we're still dealing with it now. That's why we're dealing with men who only want to be around men but want to sexually pursue women, and men who would
My dad.
that's damn.
Whenever I tell anybody the number of kids he had, everybody's eyes get wide. Like, ooh,
child,
did you say that number for real? I did.
You did say that number, and once I was like, huh. That's a big number.
I'm not sharing that number.
That's nobody's business.
It's not.
That was a big number for Elmo.
It's a big number for everybody. And the fact that he has a cousin who has more than that. 20 more.
Ooh, Jesus.
Right.
Sit down, DMX. Sit down.
DMX is crazy.
Okay.
But I feel like an aspect of this that like isn't necessarily touched on is like specifically the queerness of it all is that love is a huge proponent for how to be queer correctly. And love in terms of not, oh, I love this person romantically, I'm going to show up for them this way and that way. It's community is inconvenient. Sometimes you're going to have to drag your ass out of bed when you don't want to, pick up a phone when you don't want to, go buy some groceries when you don't want to, cook when you don't want to, clean when you don't want. Like sometimes that's going to happen. And the proponent that I'm feeling like a bunch of people should just carry with them is that to be in love, like in the queer community, is to be seen and seen fully and not have to wear a mask every time you go see this person. Like you can go to this person's house and zone out.
It just exists.
Like to be able to go over any of my friends, like, and I've cultivated some straight friends who are also like queer in essence, just based off of how long they've been around me. But being able to go over someone's house and chill, just be, not have to filter what I'm saying, I have to shift how I have to think around them.
Sit a certain way.
I can literally go jump on the bed, take a nap.
And exist.
Yeah. Like, and I feel like so many of us are so worried about what new person we're dating or how to get to the next person or heal from the last person that is not enough presence, like being
and the
focused
people that
on.
are there.
Yeah.
In the community that's there. Because I've fallen in love in the most sincere way this year because of your practices of love. And it is a very queer space and it is a very communal space that just, I could be okay. And that's new.
But that's because I feel like the act of, I don't think people fall in love. I'm going to say, I don't feel like people fall in love. And I feel like if you fall in love, you're falling out of it as well. Always. I feel like most often people are walked into love with sometimes open eyes, other times not. But you get walked into love and it's up to the person who you're giving that to, like experiencing that with, to either show up or not. That's what determines if you're going to keep falling, if you fall in love, or if you've like been pleasantly walked into it. And I try, whenever I love a person, I try desperately to make sure that they feel seen in the smallest of ways, because that's what I want. I try to make sure they feel heard in the smallest of ways, because that's what I want. I want them to feel thought about in the smallest of ways, because that's what I want. So there are ways which I show up for my partner that I'm never going to show up for anybody else, because that's the ways that I want him to feel special. Whereas there are other times when, for friends specifically, and we were talking about Lenny's birthday just passed. And so me and my boyfriend were talking about the fact that, like, me tailoring Lenny's gift to him not just some generic shit, but like it being intentional. I thought this through because I know who this person is, ensured that he felt seen, heard, and understood, like outside of him having to speak all of the time. And so I'm intentional about loving people in that way, because not only is it just the way that I want to be loved, I also feel like at the end of the day, what we like, when we can show up for a person like that and do it consistently, it helps heal parts of their nervous systems that like were damaged in childhood. Just something that I've experienced myself. Like there've of course been traumas and whatnot that I've had to go through and heal from. But in people showing up consistently when I needed them most, oftentimes when I didn't need them, like literally need them. That's what helped me heal quicker. That's what helped me be able to be more open, and then also to return the favor to other people. Yeah.
I'm living for that, because the whole reason that I want to be sitting down and talking with you on your philosophy on queerness and love is because it's so transformative. It's very simple, and that's what makes it so important.
Be a faggot. That's the simplicity of it.
I knew you weren't gonna let this whole episode live without you being able to say your favorite word.
Yeah.
It's your favorite word.
At all times.
I love that. I want to get into something cute. Can we do another exercise?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The somatic exercise we're going to go through this time has to be cunt, because we're talking about queerness. So we're going to do butterfly taps, which is really light taps on any part of your body, truthfully. Not
so
sure if you want. But it's the intention is to feel the sensation of your body, like as you're tapping into those sensations, those vibrations, what, like how they reverberate from the source to the end of your fingers, your feet, anything like that.
Period.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you close your eyes again. And then take 2 more deep breaths, because I heard the first one. And another one. Okay. And you can literally hug yourself. You can put your hands on your knees, on your titties. But we're going to tap and just breathe deeply as you're tapping. If you need, you can say things like "I'm safe," or "I'm present," or "I'm a cunt ass bitch."
I'm gay as fuck.
That part, right?
I'm enjoying myself today.
Yeah. Whenever you feel like stopping, you can stop. Okay. How'd that feel?
Kind of fuck.
Right?
Honestly.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah.
It was giving sparkles.
This is one of my favorite things to do because of that feeling.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Yep.
Thank you. I hope everybody at home did that too. I hope everybody else got into it, because these titties ain't out for nothing. We getting into it. The nails is done. They're out. They're gorgeous.
Period.
But these titties is gay. Just understand that.
Thanks.
Queer people only.
Well.